I said, hey, yo, what is going on, guys? It's your boy Mohados, and we're back with another video. As always, just want to give you guys a weekly update, what's going on in the market, what to expect, things like that. So, starting off with total, taking it from the top, guys, the market right now is currently sitting at a resistance, but it's actually been here for quite a while. And if you guys have been following me on Twitter, I have a long thread on total, and basically in March 5th, I spoke about how we're running into resistance up here at 2.57 trillion. Today I updated it again, which I will be talking about. And we're pretty much at this level. Haven't broke it since I've posted that on Twitter. And essentially right now we're just chopping at this level. So the first thing that sticks out to me is that we're holding the 8 EMA, which is a little blue line. So that's very bullish. And I'm going to have to believe that we're going to continue to hold this and continue pushing to the upside because the momentum is strong here. And it's just going to be a slow chop before we see a new impulse. When you look on the weekly here, there's no divergence, right? Usually you get some type of bearish divergence before we go higher, like you saw from this high to this high. You can see that the RSI is getting weaker and weaker, right? It fails to make new highs, which basically determines and tells us that, strength is being lost in the market. And right now there's a lot of strength on this move to the upside. Yes, this is all a correction here, but I definitely believe it's getting ready to gear up higher. Whatever the correction looks like, it's going higher, guys. So just stay patient, stay vigilant, watch out for these crazy corrections across the board. And also BTC Dom, guys. This has been very interesting because I do believe it's going to go a little bit higher, but wow, we're right at a resistance. We're literally sitting here watching this, and I don't know exactly what to expect, except that, this is probably going to have a drastic breakout, right? And it's either going to start breaking to the upside here, like higher, and invalidate this resistance, this RSI resistance, or we start seeing a breakdown, right? And that will lead us to a whole nother can of worms on what to expect. Because again, the ideal scenario for pretty much 99% of holders or people involved in crypto is we want to see a breakdown because altcoin season will be absolutely fantastic. And so that's what we're watching for. And at the same time, I do believe that if we go higher here, it's possible to see 57%. But ideally speaking, as an altcoin holder, I definitely would like to see a breakdown. But again, I'm not going to be irrational. I'm going to wait and see what happens. This is why I do weekly updates, share it with you guys. I mean, I usually do weekly updates to myself, but I like to do these videos so I can also reflect back on it in video form. And I appreciate you guys for joining and listening to these as well. But yeah, carrying on. This is pretty much stablecoin DOM, and it's kind of following the same pattern that we've seen over here, right? So, I feel like we're on the cusp of an alt season, but at the same time, I would like to see Bitcoin DOM start breaking down, which will be the final straw. But at the same time, this is going to have to stay at this level. It's not going to stay here for long. So you definitely have to understand that, altcoin season is only a few months. So being that it's a few months, we just have to be very patient, be very vigilant, and understand that this is eventually going to start going back up here, and you want to be out before then, right? Because honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if we see one big ass inverse head and shoulder before this starts taking off again, right? So, that's what I'm watching out for. And at the same time, in this blue box, there can be absolute generational wealth made. So, it's just about being patient and just understanding that this is going to take time to play out. But in the middle of this playing out, there's going to be a lot of opportunity across the board. So that is very, very important. And, when we look at things like Ethereum, which has been actually moving very slowly. I still think this is very strong. I still think it's very possible we go to all-time highs because of the ETF lingering here in May. And then also ETH BTC is actually breaking down, which is very interesting. I'm waiting for this reclaim to happen. And usually when this does happen, guys, that's pretty much the end of the bull market. Just like we saw back over here in May 2021, it was the end of the end, and the market just absolutely took a dump, right? So you just have to be very, very vigilant. And again, watch out for these signs across the board. And again, you don't need to look at a million different charts, right? I'm just giving you guys the main charts here that you need to watch out for and understand, because there's a lot of smoke in all of this mess, right? And I'm showing you guys things that you can back test yourself, right? ETH BTC was the absolute top of the last bull market. So that's why I like to track it when it comes to looking at multiple charts across the board. And even over here, guys, for Bitcoin, you know, I do Bitcoin updates as well. I'm going to keep this one very vague, but, you know, green is for buying, right? It's very, very simple. And clearly that has been very effective, right? You can see over here, this was an absolute buy, 61K. If you bought that, you're up around what? How much percentage points? Maybe 10? Yeah, like 13. So that's not bad. 13% spread if you got the low. So, I mean, ideally speaking, I mean, this is probably going to continue higher. This is basically exactly like total, this correction. So we'll see exactly how this is going to play out. But all in all, I think the market is getting ready for another leg to the upside. Along here with our friend XRP, which is absolutely moving at a very slow pace. A lot of people don't know what to expect. The Ripple just launched a stable coin on the XRPL on ETH as well. And it's going to be very interesting to see how this is going to play out because, again, I'm very bullish because, again, a lot of people don't know what to expect. There's a lot of friction in the community. And at the end of the day, the chart is going to do what it wants. It's going to break out. And I do believe it's going to be crazy because, again, this consolidation period is probably going to end soon. And because of the volatility shrinking inside of this whole entire range, as you can see, it's probably going to have a massive breakout. Again, that could be to the upside. It's going to be a multi-year trend if it breaks to the upside, or to the downside where it just absolutely falls on its face. Obviously, I like to share all types of scenarios, but I do believe it's going to break to the upside simply because it's in a top 10 coin for over 10 years. And even throughout the lawsuit, the FUD, the garbage, it hasn't fallen on the top 10. It has actually just stayed stable. So it's very interesting to watch this dynamic for XRP, right? Because who would have thought this was going to happen like this, right? And being that the lawsuit is potentially wrapping up this year, that's going to be also very interesting. But again, this is just my big bet. This is the only coin I hold in the top 100, right? I don't hold any other coins that are in the top 100. But, you know, every other coin I hold is outside the top 100. So basically, this is what I'm watching for right now. And again, this is going to be a game of patience at this moment. So that's the update on the crypto side. I want to also share with you guys what I think is happening for gold. And again, this has been absolutely on a tear. This is actually scary for crypto, guys. Usually gold doesn't actually break out. It's not really a good sign because usually when gold is breaking out, the stock market is actually breaking down. And right now, I do expect a back test here at this 8 EMA around 4,800-ish. So when this does break down, that'll be very, very interesting to see how it levels out. But again, it may not break out. I mean, it may not fall back down to this level, right? It's just going to be very, very like slow, and it's going to require a lot of patience. But the weekly is very interesting. I do think that it's going to take more time for this to play out. And at the same time, who knows what's going to happen? Inflation is running rampant. People are parking their money anywhere they can. And even right now, the DXY has just been chopping, right? So it made a new high over here. Maybe it starts to break down, but I would love to see this make a new low instead of making a new high, because then that would mean that, you know, we might have to pack our bags up soon. So, you know, we'll have to see again how this is going to all play out. But that's pretty much the update across the board, guys. You know, I'm pretty bullish across the board for even stocks. I do believe it's going to go much higher. But also for crypto, this is where I focus, guys. Total 2. Altcoins are getting ready to go on another rampage, reclaiming this level as a support for Total 2 specifically to continue going much higher here. So it's going to be absolutely crazy this next leg up, because I do believe that people are not ready for what's coming, and that is going to be the fun behind all of this stuff. And so, yeah, just stay patient, guys. Lot into high quality altcoins, and everything will happen just the way it's meant to be, guys. So, yeah. Make sure you guys like and sub if you have not already. And as always, hodl, hodl, hodl. Peace.